First meeting of the City of Laurel District Commission will come to order. Would you call the roll, please?
Yes.
Here. Here.
Here.
Here. Agenda item 2 is approval of the minutes for the regular HDC meeting held on May 21st, 2024. Does anyone have any corrections or additions to the minutes? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Les? Yes. Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes.
Ms. Steinecke?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Agenda item 4 is HDC 2024-0109 for 373 Main Street, submitted by Mr. Terrill Hawkins. The applicant is seeking approval to a complete exterior renovation, new windows, siding, doors, lighting, and roof. Some windows have already been removed, and a stop work order was issued by the code enforcement. The applicant is also proposing to add a retaining wall in the rear. This item was tabled at the May 21st meeting, and we will discuss it again tonight. So who's here for 373 Main Street? Is he still going to try to come?
Oh.
Okay. All right, would you want to come up? So, what have we done since the last meeting?
We took your comments and considerations, and we submitted updated drawings to
Okay.
Yeah.
We did, but we'd still like you to tell us about it.
it. Okay. We went with the sizing look, was similar to what's there before this structure look. We added the cornice piece that you guys like, the top piece. We took also the larger windows. We took that into consideration when we had the larger.
I think they did a beautiful job of adapting their contemporary needs to the feeling of the street.
Mm-hmm.
We updated the,
Overhang on top.
yeah, the overhang, all the way to the top, but then the overhangs in front of each unit.
Oh, I see.
as well, so,
It's right under the window.
yeah.
And so, between the overhang there, all of that is glass?
I guess what area are we referring to? So it's
On
gonna
the
be like
first floor, right off the street, coming in off the street, so,
Yeah, that's all. It's similar to what's there now.
Okay.
We're just replacing it with new glass.
nice.
So it's
very
actually
nice.
the same size, pretty much the same size as there now. Just
Okay.
replacing it with a newer frame and glass.
And then the windows will be different than what's shown?
No, so those are the size that's there now. So we're
Okay.
just
I believe what
replacing
she's
them with new
referring
ones.
to is there'll be 2 over 2 instead of
Yes.
the.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, want to tell us about the rear?
Okay, so in the rear, right now the parking lot is sloped, and we want to build a retaining wall to have a flat parking lot, and it creates more parking spaces, doubles our parking, our parking availability there.
Okay. And that's a small porch going in. Is that 2 entrances from the back?
So it's 2 different tenants. The small deck, that's where you enter the existing salon. And for the future tenant, that's like already been there. That's where you enter from the to the empty space.
Okay. So when they're entering from the front of the building, where are they going when they go in? If that's the entrance to the salon in the back.
Or the rear entrance. So there is a front entrance.
You
Yeah,
can
so
go in
rear
the
entrance,
front or
yeah.
the back. Okay, great.
I think for both of them, the idea was that they have like an employee entrance through the rear,
Yes,
and stocking stuff through the rear.
sure. Do we have any questions or comments for the applicant?
I have a comment. I was looking at the map, the parking lot. Very happy to see you have an ADA ramp next to the handicap parking
Yeah,
back
yeah,
area. That makes me very happy.
Yeah. yes, absolutely. Okay.
Anyone else?
Madam Chairwoman, I have a question on what we see on the screen right now. Is this the existing elevation or the proposed elevation once the wall is done? Right now, it looks like there's a slope.
So where that slope is, the elevation is gonna flatten out some. It is gonna flatten out, where it tapers off on, if you're, that rear elevation where it tapers off, that is gonna, 'cause it's like a little, it takes a quick decline.
So that deck will be still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else? Mr. Hawkins, I think it's a really,
I'm Javier,
sorry.
The Mr. Hawkins was,
He's the,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Tell me your name again.
Javier Ramos.
Mr. Ramos.
Yes.
Okay, I think that you've really come back with a great vision here, and I think it's really going to look great on the street. We appreciate you taking our comments and suggestions, and
No problem. I really like the look as well, so
yeah,
I'm happy
great.
with it, so.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve HDC 2024-0109 for 373 Main Street.
Is there a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Schweitzer.
There's a motion and a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Les, Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Ms. Steinecke,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When do
Thank
you think work will start?
Hopefully soon. So I guess I gotta really go through, see, do I just get a permit automatically? Now I have to submit for permit. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks. All right, thank you. I mean, hopefully as soon as a permit gets approved,
Sure.
hopefully we'll be in a position to be able to start.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming.
No problem.
And
Thank
we'll
you.
look forward to seeing it.
Thank you.
Agenda item 5 is HDC 2024-0113 for 109 Main Street, submitted by Michael Delorenzo. The applicant is seeking approval to repair, replace, and resurface existing parking lot in addition to adding 1,840 square feet. Someone here? What? Oh.
They have the church up now.
Sir, you want to come up? You state your name and address?
Michael Delorenzo, and I'm here representing 109 Main Street, next car.
Okay. Could you tell us about what you want to do here?
Okay. Well, the next drawing will probably show some of the changes I want to make. Yes, okay. So you see footnote 1 there, that's my printed handwriting. So there's a a U shape in the parking lot right there. And all I want to do, and this is the new asphalt that I'm adding or asking to add, is the hash mark area that I drew there. I want to just take that U out of the parking lot and go straight across parallel to Main Street and in line with the foundation of the building. And just, because that's eventually, I have to do an electricity upgrade, which is a whole nother process, and then I want to put car chargers there. And since I have to repave, if you go to the next drawing. So now the shaded area, this is the area I have to repave. I've been in occupancy at 109 Main Street for 28 years, and it's time to freshen things up. So the asphalt, the existing asphalt is all failed and breaking up, and it's now, I gotta replace that. And since I'm doing that, I figured I might as well do the pavement for the electric car chargers, because that's gonna be like a 8-10 month project, because I gotta upgrade electricity into the building, and then I gotta get car chargers to put up, and there'll be like 4 stalls in that new asphalt area with the chargers right up next to the asphalt. That's kind of the vision of what I'm doing. I rent cars, I forgot to tell you that.
That's why you want the car chargers.
That's why I'm here, okay? So,
Right.
I'm the car rental guy at the corner of US 1 North and Main Street. And I've been there for a long time.
You have that red van that I like.
I have lots of red vans.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
The grass area, the right building will remain, the lawn?
Yeah. Yeah, so what you see as white there, so let's get the directions. So north is that way, south is Main Street. Okay? So the yard would be east. So the yard's not really being affected at all. There's still going to be a big grass yard there. And you really even wouldn't notice this. If you were driving on Main Street, you wouldn't notice this change because it's so far away from Main. You can see it's all the way to the back of the house. It's far away from Main Street, and you're certainly not going to notice it on US 1 because you can't even see in that far. So it's not something anybody's going to see. And that's kind of like the whole pitch. I don't know what else you need to know about.
Does staff have any comments on this application? Okay.
Oh, hi. Okay. My name is Taylor Harvey. I'm the planner one. He meets the green space requirements currently. Well, he'll have a 17% if he does what is proposed. The requirements is 10%, so he's good on the green space requirements.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you, Mr. Delorenzo. Any comments from anyone? Are you ready to make a motion? Could I have a motion, please? Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, could you please call the roll, please?
Ms. Les? Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes.
Councilmember Cole?
Yes?
Ms. Frazier?
Yes?
Ms. Steinecke?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, Mr. Delorenzo, good luck.
Thank you.
And get more rental cars in there now, huh? I know. Okay, agenda item 6 is HDC 2024-0119 for 1102 Montgomery Street. Submitted by Richard Peterson. The applicant is seeking approval to demolish 2 existing sheds and install 1 new shed with equal square footage. The new shed will be 10 by 20 Heartland Hillsdale from Lowe's. The applicant will paint it in Dynasty Marquee Color by Bear. Mr. Peterson, can you come up, please? State your name and address.
My name is Rick Peterson. I'm with Christ Reformed Presbyterian Church at 1102 Montgomery Street.
Okay, thank you. And you want to tell us about what you'd
Sure,
like to do?
I'd love to. These pictures were from a couple months ago when the trash truck actually backed into our shed. And, the city, by the way, the city did a great job of working with us. They came by and put that piece of plywood you can see in the bottom left corner to just try and cover up things. The reconciliation was pretty easy and straightforward, so I want to thank the city for that. But we need to do something about it, and rather than using the two existing sheds, we were thinking, okay, it's probably time, rather than just replacing the one shed, to replace both sheds with one shed. And just as background, I believe the allowance was actually one shed in the beginning, I think. And when we bought the property, there were already two there. The only reason I know about that is when we asked to move these two sheds, we were allowed to because they were already there, but we were told really allowed one shed. So part of it is trying to go back to the one shed requirement. It meets that for you guys as well. Next slide. So this is what we're proposing to put in there. It's at Lowe's. It's a Heartland Hillsdale, the 10 by 20 foot shed. So they're still 200 square feet total between the two. So it's the same square footage. We would want to use that paint chip. You see there actually have, if you want to see it, I actually have the chip right here. And I think we also were talking about painting the trim white rather than just all the Dynasty market. I don't know if you guys want to see it or not, but this is the actual chip right here. And if you go to the next slide. So that shows about where the two current sheds are. So it's in the back corner of our parking lot. It's actually on some gravel there. It's not on the actual pavement. You go to the next slide. And that's where we're planning on putting the new one. And, I've done all the measurements. It clearly fits before it hits the pavement. It's really a good fit for us. And it meets all the zones there that you've got, the 20-foot, the 8-foot.
Okay, I think you did your homework.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions, comments? Would someone like to make a motion?
I'd like to move that we approve HDC 2024-0114 for 30, excuse me, that's the wrong number, for HDC 2024-0119 for 1102 Montgomery Street.
Thank you. Is there a second? Please call the roll.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes?
Ms. Les, Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Ms. Steinecke,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer. Yes. Motion carries.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I just have one question. Do I need a permit to put this shed on there? Or is it, okay, you still have to do a permit for that? Okay, wasn't sure. Thank you.
Agenda item 7 is HDC 2024-0114 for 36 Avondale Street, submitted by Menachem Fogelman? Menachem. Sorry. The applicant is seeking approval to replace the broken wrought iron fence with white vinyl to include gates. The fencing will be installed on the front and rear of the property to add security to the residents. You want to come up, sir?
So thank you, thank you so much for taking our application. So our main goal is really both security and privacy. We have the kids playing in the backyard, and we also invite people over. I'm a rabbi, so everyone's really nice and beautiful. Just we do our responsible thing. We want to be as secure as possible. So just to talk about the front of the property for a moment. If you can see, there's a chain link fence. I don't think it's even in line with what's typically in the historic district. For whatever reason, that's what's there when we got the house. So we're going to be replacing that with a white vinyl fence with slats. There's actually a beautiful fence on our street that has exactly that, just at the end of the street, right before the park. Looks terrific. So we're going to be following that same style, both for the entire front and for the sides, until the front facade of the property. Then for the back, for the entire back, we're going to have a 6-foot privacy fence, also the same material, white vinyl, but privacy. And that's going to give us, more privacy, and, it'll be a more enclosed backyard. So that's the idea in general. Let me know if you have any questions.
Any questions, comments? So you're basically this is just about the fence around the perimeter.
Yes, and there's another little section or two of fence. If you look in the drawing, you could see there's another little line or two. I can explain those if you'd like as well. But basically, it's pretty much the main idea is the full perimeter. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for replacing that wrought iron fence, because whenever we can in the historic district, that's a good thing.
You mean the chain link?
The chain link, yes, the
Yes.
chain link, sorry. Yeah, that's a very good thing.
The new vinyl, what style of fence is it going to be? A picket fence with one at the top, or?
So yeah, there's a picture of it.
Okay.
That's
Okay, there
it.
you go.
Yeah, yeah. That's
And
same
You're going to have a cap on the privacy in the back?
privacy. Yeah, same material, but privacy and 6 foot in the back. That's all the same pictures of the same, style of fence.
Is there any other questions or comments? Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion we approve HDC 2024-0114 for 36 Avondale Street.
Second?
I'll second.
Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Ms. Les, Ms. Steineke, Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, sir, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And then if you have any questions, the staff will be glad to help you. Sure. Okay, thank you. Agenda item 8 is HDC 2024-0111 for 595 Main Street, Unit 233, submitted by Toychika Peterson. The applicant is seeking retroactive approval to install new window sign for the Bad Decisions Tattoos and Piercings. The sign will be lighted green with 2 lines of red. The sign has already been installed. Hi.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Good, good. Well, I like the sign.
Thank you. It's all her doing.
I don't know, it depends, hold on.
How's business?
Business is doing great.
Good.
We're about to expand, actually, because the lawyer's moving out in the back, so we are taking possession of the entire unit and now looking for other people.
Good, good.
We will still be offering like red light therapy, fingernails, all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
And the name I have to laugh when I see it.
Like I said, all her doing.
A lot of people would show up to the shop and they
Just
had
because of
stuff
the
on
name.
them and they're like, I need to get this covered up. I was 12 and, in high school when I got it done. So I was like, y'all got to stop making these bad decisions. And there you go. So.
Yeah, yeah. Old girlfriends, bad husbands,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, especially I had girlfriend's name here. I got to write void over it.
Yeah.
in red
Yeah.
ink.
Yeah. I have somebody in my family like that, so.
Yeah.
Don't we all? I'm that person in my family.
Okay, so, the sign has already been installed.
But turned off after they told us, because we didn't
Okay.
know, to be honest with you.
I understand,
Yeah, we didn't know, but it's
happens
been
a
off
lot.
since then, so.
What's supposed to be is the landlord is supposed to let everyone know.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
how that goes. All right, any comments or questions?
Madam Chairwoman, I have a question.
Okay,
This sign is neon, correct?
It is.
Is does the color, for this question is for the commission, does the color conform to what's approved in the Historic District Commission? Is it too bright of a green, or does it need to be more dull?
I don't know. That might be a question for zoning.
I don't know if it
I don't
conforms.
think-
It's a much different color than everything else that's on the block. I didn't know if that color was approved as one of the colors in the HDC.
I don't know that there is a color for neon signs.
Just a question.
Okay,
Will this be on all the time, even at night?
We can turn it off if you guys tell us that you want us to.
Yeah.
We can have it only open on, shop hours. We're happy to turn it off at night.
That'd be great.
only for the person that lives across the street from me. Okay, could I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion, we approve the neon sign for 595 Main Street.
Is there a second?
I second.
Call the roll, please.
Yes.
Ms. Steinecke?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Les? Councilmember Cole?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes.
We are. Yeah.
I usually work construction, and I'm actually a master plumber. And there's a door between me and the lawyer. I think we're taking that door out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate it.
All right, thanks
All
a
right,
lot.
thanks, guys.
Thank you. Agenda item 9 is HDC 2024-0124 for 315 Montgomery Street, submitted by Geraldo Perez. Someone here for Mr. Perez? The applicant is seeking approval to replace the current light three-tab roof with certain landmark charcoal black architectural shingles. Gutters and downspouts will also be replaced. Hi, could you
Hi.
state your name and address?
I'm Caitlin, 315 Montgomery Street. I am also the permit specialist for Long Home Products. The homeowner could not make it today, but the agreement is to basically remove the existing and install with new shingles and gutters. We did not see or notice any rotting decking that would be replaced at the time, and if so, it would be at no cost to the homeowner.
The gutters and downspouts and following.
Correct. Everything will be the same, yes.
Any other questions, comments? We have a motion?
I would like to make a motion that we approve HDC 2024-0124 for 315 Montgomery Street.
Second?
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Councilmember Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes.
Ms. Steinecke?
Yes.
Ms. Les? Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Can you guys confirm if there is a permit to be needed or just the approval? Thank you.
Agenda item 10 is HDC 2024-0123 for 109 Bashir Street, submitted by Alex Benitez. The applicant is seeking approval to renovate deteriorated exterior to include vinyl siding, shutters, windows, roof, and refinish the front door and louvered wooden double window in the front. The applicant is also requesting to demo the shed addition in the rear and replace with a two-story addition within the footprint of the existing shed addition. The work had started without approval. A stop work order was issued by code enforcement. Hi.
How are you?
Could you
Good
state your
evening.
name and address, please?
My name is Alex Benitez, 109 Brashear Street.
Okay. So,
All right. The work wasn't actually started. I just want to clear that up to make sure. We got a permission from permitting to clean off, because the property as it is right now, I don't know if you're familiar with it, it's in very, very bad condition.
well, how did the windows disappear?
Okay, so when I spoke with Ms. Tiamani in permitting, she said, you can go clean it up because it was in such a bad shape, but don't start demo or anything. So that was cleared up. I relayed that information to the owners, and as things sometimes go, one person to the other to the next, the guys who went to do the cleanup got a little excited. My view is they probably broke the windows to throw trash to make it easier. They didn't know, because I was on a call with them later. So what do you guys do? And it's like, oh, we just clean. They didn't know. So that's what happened. It wasn't that they were starting work. They were just cleaning up, and they just got a little carried away. During the process, what we want to do is replace all the siding with regular white siding. We're going to keep the same color scheme, the white with the green. Once the windows on the front were torn down, unfortunately, I noticed that the framing and the windows were going to be taken out probably anyway. They were not operable, and everything is rotted around the framing of the windows. So they're going to be replaced with 4/4, same style, but in more modern, vinyl finish. It's not going to be wood. There is, though, in the middle second floor, I don't know if you can tell, that's an old louvered wood window. So what the plan is to pressure wash it, sand it, and then repaint it to keep that as the original. Same thing with the front door, because the house is tiny. It's a very small house, so the door would have to be custom. So I think we can just keep that door. The storm door is busted, it's broken. They're gonna take it out. I don't think they're gonna put a new one there. If they do, it's probably gonna be as custom order to fit that space. But for now, they're not gonna replace that one. So the roof, all the gutters, everything's very, it's rotted, it's broken. So basic shingles, same, probably charcoal gray. I think the color is there in the explanation. And then same on the sides. The side, I think, has only one window, if any, because the other one just it's right on the property line with the neighbor. There was oh, you want to talk about the addition? Okay. The shed, where you see the red, apparently that was built at some point by the owner, and it's falling, like it's caving in. It's the roof as well as the inside. They did like a kitchen in there right now, so it's impossible to repair it. So what they figured is, the house being so tiny, it's better to just demo the.
Who is they?
The owners.
Say.
The owners.
Okay.
Yes. Demo the existing shed and then just build a new one in its stead, using the same footprint that it has, but then take it to the second floor. That way, the upstairs, one of the bedrooms is, I was 6x6, 6x7. That way, it's going to give them a little more space upstairs, to do the bathroom a little bit bigger, and then we're going to keep the same windows. There's, I believe, 2 windows We're gonna keep them the same, we're just gonna be moving them back to the new, backside. And it's not gonna have any, I don't think they're gonna keep a door in the back, I'm not sure. But if they do, it's probably gonna be some sort of sliding door or just one door to the back.
What is your relationship with this job?
I'm just helping them, the permitting. They're from Virginia, so I do investments, but I do permitting for clients.
Permitting?
Like doing all the process, submitting the permits, doing all the legwork, and I got them the architect to do the drawings, all that. But I've been to the property, I've been, very involved with all of this, so I know exactly what they, want to do. There's,
You're under the impression that it's better to salvage this than demolish it?
it's a good question. The majority of people probably say it's better to just bring it down, but since the house is so old, I don't know if that's something that would be allowed. I mean,
Well, if it can be salvaged, yes. I'm
yes,
asking you
I mean,
if
we're
you
going to
think
bring
it
in.
can be.
Well, we're bringing in an engineer to look at everything because when you walk inside, like the roof rafter, everything's original. So they're not even like they're 2x6s. They're very thin. This is the old, way to build them. So I believe it can. I mean,
So an engineer hasn't been in the house yet?
not yet, no. We were waiting, to get this through, and then during the permitting process, the building, that's when he'll get involved. But, I mean, the answer would be yes. The thing is that where the property's located, it's like a little alley, so there's not much room. I don't think even like, big trucks. They mentioned the two owners are kind of torn between doing the driveway or not.
Yes, I've read that. I'm not sure how that's going to happen.
Me neither. The person, is Emily here? Hi, nice to meet you. She's been great. She checked on the grass versus, and it meets the requirement, but one of the owners, and as well as myself, I said, how are you going to turn a car in there? I mean, I just don't see it.
Or back out.
Exactly. I don't see it happening. But I told them, let's just include it. If it works, at least it's already approved. And then we go from there. But I think they're not going to do it between us. I don't think they will. But the trees, that's one thing that's important, I think. There's one, I believe it was a white oak on the right side. I don't know if you can go back to the front. Okay, yeah,
When
right
you're
there.
looking at the house, there's one on the left, and then there's a big one. Yes.
The white oak, it's huge. I think it's just covering the house and it's encroaching on the house. It's hitting the top side of the roof. There's squirrels living there, everything. And the weeds and the ivy has grown all the way up to the tree. So I think that tree's gonna
There's
die at
another
some
one in
point.
the back of the house, too.
And there's another one that I was told that if they could bring it down. The one on the left, it's in, what was it? Some sort of nut tree. But,
It's a black walnut.
walnut, yes. Again, what I did was basically look at the Maryland Arbor, and there's a list of suggestions. There's a couple of flowering trees that, dogwood, I believe, that I put there. I mean, there's no problem planting those in their place, but it really covers the whole house when you see it. See that yeah. Yeah, so the options are crabapple, dogwood, I think those are good, and they're not super big either, so that would be the options. No, that's, okay. Yeah, oh, yes. That's the one that we need to probably bring down as well, because apparently the branches are are encroaching on all the neighbors and they don't like it, correct? So,
No, I don't think they like it.
yeah, they, they don't like anything about it right now. I mean, it's in really, the front fence, it's not historical. It was made with, I don't know if you can tell from, these are rebars. Yeah, they're rebars. So, I mean, it's not historical, but it does have like a retaining wall that they would probably keep it. They said they can keep that one if need be. If they decide to replace it, maybe we can amend and bring you the options before they do it, but that would be very much at the end of the whole project.
That's a very creative use of rebar.
I know. They probably spend more time twisting them than, so, yeah, I think it's a tough call between repairing the whole thing and bring it down, but I think it's salvageable, and I think it's gonna look very pretty once it's done for sure, compared to what it's now. I think there's people living there, like squatters or something, there's like bottles, it's really bad. So, I think, they were just kind of.
That happened, I think, after the windows were taken out, because there was someone living there, and he wasn't a squatter.
What I heard from I talked to both owners on both sides, and they mentioned that it was like an older gentleman that couldn't fend, and so he let kind of the house go. So yeah, I mean it could have been. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess they're just eager to get that cleaned up and start work. And I guess it's unfortunate that happened. I was as angry as anybody else because they made my work harder when they went there. But, to be fair, I think, I mean, I wouldn't blame them in a way, because they just told the guys, just go clean up. And Timani called me like hysterical from the place. Oh, they turned the windows. They're 100 years old. I'm like, oh. So I called them right back.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the only one talking here, but
I have a couple
you
questions.
don't have to shake your
Sure.
head, yes. When you said that when they were there working, when they shouldn't have been, well, what's going to happen when they go back to?
They're not. That was just a crew that was sent.
But I want to know if there's going to be more supervision.
Yes. I think that was something that, because there was a mixture of things. The property was, like you said, very bad. So they allowed us to kind of clean it up because everybody was complaining about it. So, when they were sent, I hate talking for other people. In some situations, I think people who do work, especially cleaning and demo, which is probably the roughest part, if they don't get clear instructions, they probably do whatever they think is right. And I think probably it wasn't clear, to be fair. But I don't want to talk badly about them. But that's probably what happened. But I mean, I wouldn't expect them during the construction that's what's going to happen. I think it would be unfair to just judge them by that unfortunate incident.
Okay. We're going to hear from staff now.
Sure.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tiamani Hamlet. I'm the chief building official for the city. To Mr. Benitez's respect, I say your last name correctly.
Benitez, yes.
Okay. To Mr. Benitez's respect, the home was originally placarded as unsafe and uninhabitable due to the existing conditions that caused the previous owner to have to unfortunately sell his home. With that in mind, Mr. Benitez was authorized to go in and demo the property so it would be safe enough for a crew to go in and work. In regards to safeguards during construction, we outline all of those things as well as the conditions set forth by every committee within the city, as well as internal notes and comments prior to us even issuing permits or allowing his organization to begin the work. So in the event that there is an issue, there are already fines and stipulations put in place prior to us beginning construction to avoid these types of issues. And we also take into account that the home is built in a historic area as well as a historic preservation of the overall structure.
Well, why isn't it still unsafe and uninhabitable?
due to the existing conditions of the property. So when the property was initially placarded prior to Mr. Benitez's client originally taking ownership, the home was already in disrepair. And unfortunately, the previous owner had to be removed from the property by his family because of the conditions of the structure as a whole. So it was no longer safe for him to be there. In order for a crew to go in and begin any work, or for us to even talk about permitting, the previous owners had to buy the home as is per the previous owner and go in and clean up after the fact. So it quite literally would have been hazardous for us to even send in an engineer until they got that cleaned up.
The main floor, the floor is caved in. You can see the ground through it. It's really bad.
Yes, the main floor is compromised as well as the second floor.
Second floor as well is caving, yeah.
Yes.
And that's safe conditions for somebody to go in there?
That's why the home was placarded as unsafe. So even when his crew was there, unfortunately, they did take out historic windows, but they did have to have ladders and safety equipment present inside the property prior to them being able to do anything. That way they can guarantee that everything was shored up so we wouldn't have people falling through the floor.
So everybody was tied off safely using the extra equipment. They weren't actually resting on the existing beams?
No one was resting on any beams. I cannot say that they had everything tied up, but I will say that there were already, they temporarily shored the structure to ensure that nothing fell over. So the toilet that was resting on the beam was actually removed last. That way, in the event that something did fail, everyone was able to get out safely.
So is that shoring inside or outside the building?
Inside, all of the damage all of the damage is insulated inside the property, and because of how far it's set back from the alleyway and adjacent properties, any damage to the property that has that has occurred recently as a result of rain or settlement is all internalized, so it all will be inside the property. So no one outside the property will be affected.
Is the property safe enough for engineers to go into yet?
Given adequate time and the appropriate shoring, yes, it will be. But because we had them remove everything from the property and clean up the exterior of the property to avoid any risk of any debris going onto an adjacent property or having an animal or something or someone accidentally track blood or glass through everywhere, if we allowed them to go back and shore up the property prior to them having the engineer walk through so they can complete the demo, it should be fine.
Madam Chairwoman, I have further questions on the application. Without the engineer going in yet, is it premature to start to approve the exterior of the building if we don't know what the requirements are going to be from the engineer to make the building safe?
As far as the aesthetics are concerned, if you all were to sit and come up with some sort of conditions or guidelines, it'd be easier for his engineering team to go back and take those into account prior to them going through, doing the work, coming up with a proposal, and that proposal being shot down.
So we're not here to approve the actual work tonight. We're here to give guidelines for the engineer to then bring back on another application?
Possibly. I'm not sure, nor am I at liberty to say yes or no to that question.
Are we supposed to rule on the aesthetics of the building or on the safety and structure of the building?
Not the safety. The safety's already been accounted for, but I'll pass it over to Emily.
Good evening. This is Emily Klein Gibson with ECD. I just want to clarify a few things. Tonight's application is based on the aesthetics of the property as it's submitted now. Again, if the engineer comes back and there's significant changes needed to the property, I think that's where the guidelines would come in handy in case there's any type of significant change to what the building currently looks like. I also just want to note one of the main reasons why this property is most likely being renovated instead of demolished is the size of the lot. It's non-conforming, so based on today's standards, there really wouldn't be any legal regulations to demo this property and then build a new house from the ground up.
Say that again, there's no legal
Yes.
demolish it?
So if the house were to be demolished, there would, based on lot width and lot coverage.
You could put a smaller house on the lot.
Based on zoning standards, no.
Really?
Yeah, the lot is way smaller than today's zoning standards. This is considered a non-conforming property.
I think the property definitely needs work. I'm not sure that it's contributing anything positive to the neighborhood in its current format. I like that we are trying to preserve what's there, the doors, the louvers. I think if they would be coming back to us after the engineer, and tonight is just on the aesthetics, I think I'm okay with moving forward on just the aesthetic portion of the application.
If we approve the aesthetics, and then the engineer comes in and says, that's not gonna work, or it's not safe, what happens then?
I guess it would be a case-by-case basis. If there's specific things about the property that you like, that you would like to see, maybe if it's the color or the siding or anything like that, that you could just provide as a guideline in case the engineer needs to come and change things up, that would be best. But I guess it's just.
If I can say something, Madam
Yep.
Chair.
Sure.
The engineer would just be brought in, the engineer would be brought in just to show up if the existing is strong enough to stand. And then if it's not, he will build new. But the thing is.
He would be what?
He will build a new structure. So I guess I'm trying to be clear, Councilman Cole, if you bring an engineer, what would that prove? And I'm just asking because all you're doing is tonight is just approving the aesthetic, the exterior and all of that. But if you bring an engineer, all he's going to do is make sure what you're allowing him to do, the internal be enough to keep it going, or if demolition and new construction. But the thing with this is a non-conforming lot. And if you build a new, you're still going to be in that same footprint. And he can't, that's why we talked to him a long time to try to ensure with the addition, that was beneficial. But if he built anything new, he would not get that addition. He would still stay within the existing footprint. So that's why I guess I'm asking, if you do bring an engineer, how much would that weigh from what you can prove tonight?
I would like to add, sorry, I just would like to add that in my opinion, whatever the engineer proves or disproves, or it's not going to affect whatever we're going to do on the outside. It's just going to affect maybe we have to replace the roof rafters, the ridge line, maybe do some supports in some areas, LVLs to hold the second floor. I don't think it's going to affect anything that would alter what we're proposing here. I mean, I guess that would be my opinion. All he's going to do is, he does a thing called structural assessment. So he's going to tell us this, well, he's going to do an assessment of the whole new addition. That's going to be brand new, so that is not really relevant to the rest because he's going to do it brand new. So that's going to be standing perfectly fine. And we're going to mimic whatever we're going to do in the rest of the house. So that should be fine. Inside the house, which is what we're talking about, what he's going to do is, he's probably going to do the foundation assessment. He's going to tell us, rebuild, the footing. I mean, that's easy to do. That doesn't impact the outside. Same is going to be the roof. I don't think the integrity of the side isn't necessarily, in that bad shape. I think it's the roof and then the flooring in the first floor. So in terms of I guess, on your end, whatever the engineer says, unless he says you cannot fix it, in which the owners are going to be in a bind because then they're going to have to bring it down, and what do they do? Because they can't build a new one. Unless that happens, I don't see anything changing on whatever we presented. I mean, I guess, does that make sense?
The property is also surrounded by 4 other properties.
Yes.
My concern is how, if it's going to affect these other properties, these trees being removed. I mean, it's so compacted in there. I just think that is a concern.
I know.
And I'd like to know, are the trees going to be taken down before the work on the house?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
I know you can't.
Yeah, I
but-
don't know what the My belief is, my answer is probably would be yes, because that would make sense to take them down first so they can work easier. If that's what you would propose, then I don't think there'd be an issue telling them, listen, take care of the trees first and then move into the inside. I think it would be a good idea to, let the neighbors know what's going to go on. I think they're going to be thrilled. Whatever happens, but there's going to be noise. It's going to be a lot of commotion. But I think it's going to be something that they're going to appreciate, moving forward, because, it's really bad. I mean, it's really bad.
Oh, yes, sorry.
In regard to the trees being taken down, we can stipulate that as a city. We can put in stipulations and conditions prior to us even issuing any of the permits that will lessen the negative effects of construction for everyone else. Based off the engineering report and based off of what we heard today, due to the trees encroaching on all the other properties, it would be in our best interest and will mandate that they take the trees out prior to us doing construction. Especially given the structural integrity of the property and the size and mass of the type of equipment he's going to need to bring in. Realistically, there's not going to be a way for us to do that with these large trees looming around the property as well. So all of that has already been taken into consideration, so it's not something we have to worry about.
There's neighbors in the audience tonight. I don't know if they've signed in. Can we ask them if they have any concerns or questions? Do you? Mr. Bennett, you can sit down and you'll have to come to the mic, state your name and address.
My name is Michael Peden. I live at 509 Prince George Street, so my property is directly across for Shears from this property. As far as the trees, all the neighbors, I think I could speak for everybody, but they're all concerned because ivy's taken over the one that's in front of the house, and it's only a matter of time before that probably goes. And when that goes, it'll take part of my house and the power line. The other tree is definitely over. It's just a badly structured tree, and it's over Will and Heather's house. So those two things are, I think that we need to move forward because just leaving it as is not good. The second thing, if I may comment, I've been in the house, and I am a contractor, and I do renovation. So it seemed to me like the biggest problem with the rotting of the floor actually was a continuous unrepaired bathroom, so that the structure that's bad is as you go in the house on the right side, that floor was totally lost anything to hook onto, the beam. And so I don't think the whole house in general is unsafe or structurally bad. I just think they have to fix that floor and that wall that supported the bathroom. So I wanted to put everybody at ease. I mean, it's just that I think that can can happen pretty quickly. I don't think there's a big threat. I've been all over that house because I had to go in and secure it when the previous owner was sick. So their family asked me to come in and take care of this and that and the other thing. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. I think we're concerned about the trees. And as far as the driveway, though, I was looking at that drawing. I don't think that's dimensioned very well. There's no way in heck that a car could be parked in front of it.
To be honest, like I mentioned earlier, lowers are always like.
Yeah, we're not concerned about that tonight.
It doesn't make sense if say no driving.
Well, we'll say it.
I agree because it's no way.
If I could comment about the fence too, I know it's not historic, but it is a very artistically and well done fence, and most people really love the fence.
Yeah, they want to keep it.
Yeah.
So,
That's fine. Yeah, they can keep it.
Okay, thank you very much. Sir, do you have any comments you want to make? You have to come up to the podium. State your name and address, please.
Hi, I'm William Hardy. I live at 511 Prince George Street. We share a property line with 109 Brashears, and in fact, part of my backyard is the side wall of the house. It's just right on the line. So I think a lot of what we've been concerned about has been addressed already. Obviously, when they do work like siding and stuff, they're going to have to come into our yard and to do work. There's just no way around it. So we'd like to minimize damage on our side of the yard, and also we want to be assured of safety in all things because there is a very large branch that hangs over the rear addition of our property. It's been looming there, and my wife doesn't even want to be in the backyard when the wind is up. She's afraid things have already come down in Brashear Street from that tree in the front, the white oak, and the tree on the left side of the front of the property has been slowly pushing our fence over. It hasn't been a big problem, but it can't stay as it is, obviously.
Okay.
So I think most of our concerns have been addressed, but we are concerned about everything being taken down in a safe way.
Sure.
We'd love to see the house preserved if possible. I recognize that because it's so at variance with what zoning is right now, that things would be very difficult if they had to decide otherwise and the house needed to be taken down.
Okay.
So,
Well, thank you so much for your comments.
Sure.
Thank you.
One of the things that concerns me is the people who are proposing this are very brave as far as what they want to do. My concern is if they don't have success, what's going to happen to the property? It'll just be either a crumbling structure or an empty lot with weeds. So hopefully they can make it work.
I think they will.
Okay. Are we, oh, yes, sir. Monta, I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Really, beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Something happens on the property that they will compensate.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for coming.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments? Does the commission feel like they're ready to vote or table, or what's your pleasure?
I would say that the plan as presented for appearance is good.
Okay,
So should I make a motion?
please do.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion. I need the glasses here. That we approve the finishes and siding and windows for HDC 2024-0123 for 109 Brashear Street.
For Shears.
For Shears.
Madam Chairwoman, I have a question on the motion. Is that motioned with the amendment to remove the driveway? Or are we keeping the driveway?
Yes, that's a good idea to make a motion to remove the driveway and definitely to remove the trees.
Madam Chairwoman, I move to second HDC 2024-0123 at 109 Brashear Street with the amendment to remove the driveway from the application.
And the trees.
And well, we want to leave the trees in the motion. They're in the application.
Oh, okay.
The trees are in the application.
Oh,
We're just,
right,
we're
right.
removing the application
Okay.
portion for the driveway.
Okay.
All 3 trees are in the application, yes, is to remove 3 trees.
Okay, great. Okay, well, we have a motion and a second.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Councilmember Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes.
Ms. Les? Ms. Steinecke?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we have staff approvals and tax credits on the agenda that have been approved. Is there any other business to come before the commission? Well, thank you, Emily. We appreciate all your help, all your knowledge, all your patience. And it's also Mr. Schweitzer's last
Yes,
meeting with us.
and I'd like to thank the commission, the staff. It's been an honor to serve here, the people of Laurel, and I've appreciated the opportunity. And, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your service. Any other business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you all. Stay cool, or in my case, hot.